You know your ABCs, but do you know the ABCs of buying and selling a home in Northern Virginia? Welcome to this episode of Give, Work, Play, where I'm going to talk about everything living and giving in Northern Virginia. I'm Ginger Walker, the team lead of Give Back team of Coldwell Banker Elite. Today in this episode, I'm going to review some of the common terminology that's used in a real estate transaction. So as I go through the ABCs, I just want to point out that I am in Northern Virginia, so some of the terminology may vary depending on the location where you're at. So A, addendum. What does that mean? It's the additional documents that go along with the main body of the contract. So here's another one for A. How about appraisal gap? What is appraisal gap? It is a guarantee between what the appraised value came in and what the actual contracted sales price could be. If the appraisal comes in lower than the contracted sales price, you might be offering to put more money out of your pocket to get closer to or at that contracted sales price. B, buyer's market. Definitely not what we're in right now. Contingencies. C. Well, contingencies are the things that are put on a contract that you have to get through, or a hurdle, or a timeline, or a something that is in the way from the contract to close. Dual agency. Well, that's one of the things that you may or may not be able to do depending on your area, and that's when I represent the seller and I represent the buyer. So I am what you consider a dual agent. E could be escrow or earnest money deposit. Now in Northern Virginia, we call it earnest money deposit, or an EMD. And what that stands for is the money that the buyer is willing to put up in advance of purchasing the home. In case they default, it then could potentially go to the seller, and that's your EMD. F stands for FHA loan. With an FHA loan, typically you put about 3.5% down on the house. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Ginger, that's G. Just call me. H, how about home inspection, or HOA? Home inspection is one of the contingencies where you have the ability to bring someone in that's an expert. They check over the house and they tell you what may or may not need to be fixed, what the honey-do list could be, or what the big deals are that could be a deal breaker for you. And HOA, well, depending on the community, it may have some rules and regulations that the homeowners association will require. I, insurance. It's going to be something that if you have a loan, the lender is going to require that you put on the house in case anything happens. And J, well, I'm reading a script, and let's just say that my marketing person's name is Julie. J is for Julie, and Julie is amazing, and thank you, Julie, for all that you do behind the scenes. K, key, of course. How do you get in and out of the house? So L, well, if you don't have $500,000 cash laying around to pay cash for a deal, you're gonna need a loan, and you know who else you're gonna need? You need a lender. And on that same note, let's just say M would be mortgage. And mortgage is what you have on a house. Once you've borrowed the money, you're paying the mortgage. N is net profit, the amount of money that the seller is going to walk away with after everything has been paid out. And in this market being a seller's market, the net profit in some cases could be a pretty good one. O, well, offer, of course. It's what you're actually giving the seller, your offer. What you're willing to give them in their contingencies, the money, whatever it is that you want to give them. I've heard even people offer concert tickets and tacos. I don't know. But the offer is actually the document that you're giving from the buyer to the seller to purchase their home. So P is an interesting one. You can either look at it as for pre-approval or pre-qualification, which is the document that you get from the lender saying how much money you can afford to borrow and buy with. Or P could be post-occupancy, which is allowing the seller to stay in the house after you've closed for anywhere up to 60 days. Q is easy, qualified. In this market, you have to be a qualified buyer to buy a home. R, well, this one's pretty easy. How about realtor extraordinaire? S, seller's market. It's what we're obviously in right now. It's where the market leans towards the benefit of the seller, where they're pretty much dictating the terms. And for T, how about title search? That is actually a really interesting thing that you probably don't even know happens behind the scenes, where they're actually making sure that there are no defects against the title, meaning that the seller can sell the house free and clear of any additional debts leaning on the house. Okay, let's go for the big U. The thing that we always love when we're a buyer's agent is under contract. Woohoo! We always do a little celebration in this market when we get to the big U, which is the under contract. V, well, how about Virginia? Because that's where I am. A more universal one would be VA loan, which is a specific loan that only applies to our military and our veterans, which thank you for your service if you do qualify for the VA loan. All right, let's go for W. I've got a couple for this one. How about Walker? W, that would be me, Ginger Walker. Win, when you win the house. And as a realtor, I gotta tell you, wine. Because wine helps at some points when you're making multiple offers and your client's not winning. So wine definitely could be the W2. All right, and X. Now this one's easy. Come on, X marks the spot. And why? Why do I feel like a cheerleader right now? How about yippee or yes when we finally get you under contract or get that amazing offer for our sellers when you walk away and you say, wow, look at what I sold it for, because I sold it with Ginger Walker and the Give Back team. Just kidding, actually not. And how about the last letter of the alphabet, which would be Z? So that would be Z. And this is actually from Julie, who is Canadian. But Z is actually Canadian for Z, which is the end of the alphabet and the end of your home search. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the ABCs of real estate terms. I hope that that was informative and helpful for you. And if you have any other questions related to the terms of real estate, feel free to drop it below, and I'm happy to try and answer what the question is. I'm Ginger Walker, the team lead of Give Back team of Coldwell Banker Elite. Thanks for watching this episode of Give, Work, Play. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you want more information about living and giving in the Northern Virginia, Quantico, and Pentagon area. Thanks so much for watching.